All right, welcome back in. I am the Kodiak Broncos Podcast, and today I'm here to talk about Q Robinson, the linebacker who we just took in the fourth round of the 2025 NFL Draft. But before we get into it, I just want to say a couple things. First of all, leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're not already. You don't always wait till the end. Hopefully, I'll have earned it. And yeah, thank you for all the support recently, and let's talk about our new linebacker, Q Robinson. So, he's a four-star recruit from Jackson Hole High School in Birmingham, Alabama. This is how he came out of high school. He was number 56 in the 2021 recruiting class, number 4 as far as outside linebackers, and number 2 in Alabama as well. I actually think he was in the 2020 class, so that was a mistake on my notes. But regardless, he started out as a core special teamer at Bama, and Saban had said that he was the best special teams player he had ever coached. And, you look at the Broncos draft philosophy, I think rounds 1 through 3, they were just like, all right, we'll get our guys. And then rounds 4 through 7, they were just like, hey, Darren Rizzi, what do you want? Go nuts. And then that's what led them to the basketball player pick. I'm kidding. But regardless, so with a guy like Q Robinson, I feel bad for him because, you go to Alabama, granted, you know exactly what you're signing up for, but you're buried on the depth chart. You had guys like Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, and Chris Braswell leading the way in the Alabama edge room. And unfortunately, those guys were pretty high picks in the NFL draft. I think from Wood Turner go 17 to Minnesota, and then Will Anderson went number 3 overall 2 years ago. So, and then Braswell also went in the second round. So naturally, you are going to be playing behind some pretty serious NFL caliber talent. So the limited sample size on Q Robinson, it kind of speaks for itself. It is limited, but the Broncos saw enough in it, and the NFL saw enough in it to the point where they were completely fine with kicking the tires on him in that range. But he recorded 25 pressures on 163 pass rush snaps in his college football career. So I'm not exactly sure what that pressure rate is. Let me actually just whip out my calculator real quick, because I probably should have done this before the video. All right, 15% pressure rate in college football. So that's pretty good, especially playing in the SEC. That's pretty good, especially when he's pretty raw in that regard as well. But yes, so he's a traits-based tweener prospect, and once again, I know what you're thinking when I say that. Tweener prospect, well, listen, he's probably going to be an edge rusher. Like, don't panic. You don't need to have Drew Sanders PTSD over this. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be an edge rusher, even though a lot of the things that they liked about him are that he could spy the quarterback and can line up off ball, which, either way, I think he's going to be an edge rusher. So, calm down, at least for now. But regardless, I see a really high ceiling but low floor as a pure linebacker. But the special teams ability gives him a real chance to be an NFL guy for literally a decade. Like, that's how I see Q Robinson. And you know what? If he can be an NFL mainstay for a long time, then you know what? Even though I don't really love the pick, then yeah, that's a good pick in my opinion, especially in the fourth round. So this is the 3-year data on Q Robinson once again. I don't really have a whole lot here, so this is, let me just calculate this real quick. 341, 370 career snaps, at least, or 3-year snaps for Q Robinson, at least on the defensive side of the ball. He played a lot more special teams, but yeah, overall, here are his PFF grades in pure pass rush grade sets. Pass rush win percentage, he was actually in the 91st percentile. Pretty good, once again, in the SEC. 88% run defense grade, 97% run stop percentage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And so just looking at the scouting report after playing behind Will Anderson, Chris Braswell, and Dallas Turner, he got his chance to start at Bama. He got an elbow injury at the end of the year, so his season was cut short. I was hoping there'd be a lot more film on him, but it's kind of a limited sample that NFL teams had to draft him off of. So yeah, maybe he would have been drafted earlier if he had completed his senior year, but I digress. So yeah, NFL height, length, and weight to the edge rusher position, especially because he has 33.5-inch arms. That's pretty good. I think that's, ideal length for an edge. I can't remember what his percentile was, but regardless, his weight is lighter than ideal, but he plays strong. He does play very strong. And I guess, you think about guys like, I guess we just have a type with our edge rushers. We just like to take these guys who are super speedy and have an insane quick jump, and you hope you can develop the rest. And we've had a pretty good track record of doing so, especially with Jamar Cain and Vance Joseph leading the way. But yeah, this is one thing that I noticed is that his game lacks diversity. Like, if he doesn't have a speed. If he doesn't have a speed rush, like he really, really doesn't have much other than length as well. And he does have a strong long arm move, which you're going to see in this film that I'm about to show you. But his lateral quickness is effective. Yes, agreed. But his bend is a bit stiff for being just a speed rusher. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that because you're going to see one of these clips where you're going to be like, how in the world did he stay up? But yeah, so his strengths: ideal height and length for the NFL. Length gives him an advantage with stack and shed. Most comfortable rushing from a 2-point stance. Very good. First step burst, pound for pound, a strong player. Yeah, he's a very, very strong player. Raw strength is not an issue when it comes to this dude. Weaknesses: lack of weight and leverage shows up in negative run defense plays. I agree with this 100%. Lacks top flexibility. Once again, not something I would have put on my draft guide, but oh well. Still raw in anticipation and pass rush moves and timing. Yes, 100%. Lacks pass rush plan beyond winning with speed. I could see that as well. So I've done enough waffling. Now it is time for us to dive into some Q Robinson. Back again with Guru Film Room, the largest film database and cut-ups in college football. So if you want to watch Jahdae Barron, if you want to watch RJ Harvey, you want to watch some Savion Jones, who I did a video on yesterday, or if you want to watch Quandarrius Robinson like I'm doing in this video as well, yeah, Guru Film Room should be your first go-to. It's been an absolutely amazing resource for me, so you guys should check it out as well. All right, back to our feature presentation. So this one, the first clip here is a delayed blitz, and this is something that he does really, really well. He fools Beck into making an absolutely awful throw right here because, he kind of hesitates for a minute. Beck thinks that Q Robinson is going to spy right here, but because, he's just kind of, you know, going to the line, he's kind of like reading. But then watch him right here. Watch him right here. Once again, my mouse is pointing to him on my screen. And then, boom, absolutely lays the wood on Carson Beck and fools him into an absolutely egregious throw that almost gets picked off. So once again, let's watch him. Field goal post is in our way right here. It's supposed to be right here, right in between the A gap. And what you're going to notice is him delay the blitz, find the soft area, and then fill the hole. Oh my God. Great closing speed too. That's something that you're going to notice is a common denominator throughout these clips. This one is one where it kind of shows that he's a work in progress. So Xavier Truss, he's a UDFA Broncos offensive lineman who we brought into our building. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what comes of him. But he just completely gets the better of Q Robinson on these two plays that I'm about to show you right here. So once again, just going through this battle in a slow basis. Like if Q Robinson is not winning with speed, he's not really doing much winning whatsoever. Like you'll notice that this is just really not a good spot that you want to be in as an edge rusher. Like you don't really want to be in an area where you're falling towards the ground. And he does a good job trying to salvage it, but watch Truss just absolutely throws him to the ground. And once again, that's something that I think Robinson's going to have to refine. He's just going to have to find more ways to win because this was about as ugly as it gets. He gets knocked off balance just a little bit after he gets a running start. He gets a really nice quick jump, but unfortunately, it's just not enough. And yeah, he ends up stumbling as well. Maybe the field was giving him issues that day. I don't know. But once again, this is some inconsistency, back-to-back snaps against our UDFA offensive linemen. So now we get to watch these guys go head-to-head in our own building instead of on the SEC football field. But regardless, so just watch this right here. Once again, this is more of a winnable battle for Q Robinson than the last one was. But unfortunately, he's in this position again where he just gets way too caught off balance. And unfortunately, he gets tossed to the ground. And there's basically no pass rush coming towards Beck whatsoever. So let's watch it a little more intricately. Keep an eye on right here, number 73. They engage, they lock up. And once again, this isn't like a terrible spot to be in. If he could turn his speed into power, then he actually has a legit shot at getting around Truss right here. But unfortunately, what happens is, once again, he just has all his balance shifted the wrong way. And once he's able to kind of recover, I mean, he's kind of flat-footed, and Truss just throws him with his momentum. So yeah, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch those guys go about. All right, I promise these clips are much more positive. So this is a great play by him because he actually stumbles right here. You'll watch him, the arrow's pointing to him, and he actually stumbles on his initial get off, but he does a great job at getting back to back right here. Like, watch this. So he's trying to fight his way through a lot of offensive linemen. This looks way cooler from the tight, I promise. And he's able to maneuver his way out and still force back into a hurried throw. Well done. Well done. It's way nastier from the tight, I promise. So once again, watch him. He's rushing towards the left tackle right here. Cuts inside, and he actually ends up getting, caught in between the left tackle and the left guard right here. But watch this. So smart. Using his hands and his body weight and his lever to throw all his leverage back into a more upright position to where he can still, like, hold on. Let me see if I can go back and frame by frame that. Like, watch this. Oh my goodness. What bend. What bend and athleticism shown by Q Robinson right there. All right, so this one is a great stab. He does a great job stabbing the right guard, and then he follows it up with a really nice one-arm bull rush. He doesn't get to the quarterback, but it just shows you that there's a lot of raw tools. There's a lot of length. There's a lot of strength that you can work with if you are Jamar Cain and Vance Joseph and you're trying to develop this guy. So right here, the guy he's engaged with is the right guard right here, and he gets pushed back, but eventually Beck is able to get the throw off. But once again, you get some interior pressure like that, stuff for any quarterback to deal with because they can't step up into the pocket. Once again, another deep misfire by Beck. Seemed to be a common trend in this game whatsoever, or not whatsoever. Word vomit right there, sorry. But yeah, watch him. Number 34 right here. You're going to watch him do a nice little one-arm stab. And then what happens? What happens after that? Rides the dude all the way back with one arm. Looks pretty good to me. Like, the skill set looks pretty good to me. That's all I can say. All right, so sixth. This is a beautifully executed blitz. Like, this is a Vance Joseph staple. Like, you're just going to notice, like, wow, I've seen that before. I've seen that before a lot. So just check out this guy, number 0 right here. I think his name is DeAndre. I can't remember his last name. Lawton? I can't remember. Number 0 on Alabama, the captain. Either way, you're going to notice that they all are crashing the line of scrimmage right here. And then just watch him. Watch him. He goes inside, which frees up the C gap to be filled by, or B gap to be filled by the blitzing linebacker, brings him down for a sack. And once again, that was all created by Q Robinson. That sack does not happen without him. So you've got number 0, and you've got Jihad Campbell right here as well. So just keep an eye on them at the line of scrimmage. Forces his way through here. And now you have 2 guys that could potentially bring him down. So yeah, really good stuff, especially because this was, they didn't bring that many dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no. That's just creativity at its finest right there. So props to you, Alabama defensive coordinator, for cooking that one up. 7th clip. So this is basically him dropping back into coverage. And the thing that you want to notice here is his motor. So you'll notice him right here. He just drops back into coverage. There's nothing like super fancy about it. He doesn't record a PBU or anything. But this ball is picked off by one of his teammates. What I love here, watch the effort by Q Robinson on the run back. He even gets a little spicy with that number 55 offensive lineman right there. So yeah. Once again, just a dude whose motor never quits. Let's watch it from the tight. You can see him right here. And now he's bearing down, and he's trying to help his teammate out in the best he can. So love the effort. Love the effort play from Q Robinson. All right. Let me check my notes real quick to see what this play was. Oh, yes. So this was a great fake. This was a great fake because he gets the offensive lineman completely leaning towards the left side, or his left side, and then he gets him to overcommit way too far to one side, and then ultimately, Q Robinson is he just has the upper hand. He's able to shed a guy, and he's able to meet ETN in the backfield and force him into an area where he doesn't want to go, where there are other Crimson Tide members waiting. Once again, watch this. Left tackle kicks to his left. Q Robinson also goes to his left, goes right here to meet ETN. Pretty good stuff, if I say so myself. This stuff's going to be a little bit harder to see, so I apologize in advance because I actually don't have an arrow on him with this game from Alabama versus Missouri, and the picture quality isn't that great in the grand scheme of things, but I have my mouse over him right here, so he's at the inside linebacker position right here. And this is one where he just, the inexperience is just kind of showing on tape because he's just too caught up, and there's a lot going on here. Like, trust me, there's a lot going on here, and I'm doing my best to keep him still shown with my mouse, and there's just too much going on here, and he just commits way too much to one side, and yeah, it's just, once again, part of the game of him being a little raw because of the inexperience that he has. So, number 34, right here. It's much easier to see from this angle. Commits a little too much to this side, especially when there's a cutback lane right here, and now he's literally on his outside shoulder about to get hit by the other offensive lineman. So, yeah. Inexperience showed right there as well. So this is one where he has some contain and some spy on Brady Cook. So I just want to show you guys this clip. This one's absurd because he's right here. Once again, picture quality not amazing, but he does a great job having his closing speed right there on the Mizzou quarterback. So, or actually, he's rushing from the edge. So just keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him over the right tackle against Armand Membu, who's drafted 7th overall by the Jets a week ago. Watch him. So, is this a terrible situation to be in? No. Is it also a great situation to be in? No. But watch him just bear down on him. Bear down on him, forces Cook to make a rather unideal throw, and it gets broken up by the other linebacker waiting in coverage as well. This is just a great way he just does a great job standing tall right here. Once again, there's a lot to like physically about him. So he does a great job not losing contain right here, even when the left tackle is just trying to completely drive him back. It just doesn't work. And I know that there were a lot of Crimson Tide waiting for the dude, but you never know. If he got washed out of the play right here, you never know what could happen. So left tackle engages. Great way to keep your balance right here. Pulls his left foot up a little so he gets knocked back and his body weight shifts. And yeah, just doesn't get pushed back and is there to meet the dude in the backfield. Good stuff right there. All right, so this is my last clip that I'm going to show you guys. This is one where I'm going to show you guys this from the tight because honestly I think it's just better because it's really hard to find him in the scuffle of Crimson Tide dudes right here. All right, right here, lined up in between right guard and the right tackle right here. So this is another one where he just does a great job of bearing down on the quarterback. So they changed their defensive signal mid-snap. He rotates over here. Or at least I was expecting him to. Maybe I was thinking of a different clip. Either way, once again, he goes the other way. And he's trying to find a free lane. Or actually, that's not. Yeah, that's still Cook. All right. Right here. Yeah. Overall, there's a lot to like. Once again, the inexperience does show up. But overall, I was pretty impressed with what I saw from his film and the limited sample. All right, so here's his playstyle, or at least here are the green flags and the main traits that we're going to look for. So he's Bama built and tested, and he went against NFL caliber competition every day in practice. And the reason this matters, I didn't even think about this until now, but Patrick Surtain went on Nightcap, I think it was, and he was like, yeah, Nick Saban, he was tough on us, but, when we got to the game, it was easier than actually practicing because, how intense it was every single day there. And you know that if Nick Saban said that this dude was the best special teams player he ever coached, he brought it. He brought it every single day in and day out. And he also has great pursuit and ability to chase and hound onto opposing quarterbacks in space, like you saw against Missouri there. And I love his bend and his length, especially for a guy his size and, having the athletic traits that he does. And, as far as the red flags, not too much pure pass rush winning goes on in his game. But once again, this is something that the Broncos feel like they can develop. He is going to mainly be a contributor on special teams, and they think that if he turns into anything that you can literally throw off the field as a rotational pass rusher, then that's a win. And you know what? I don't disagree with that process whatsoever because I really like his upside too. And the lack of true edge reps shows up when watching him, and the rep losses are pretty rough, like you had seen against Truss in those clips as well. But why was Robinson the pick? So you can never have too many pass rushers. And, it was probably signed off by Rizzi on the special teams ability as well, since day 3 was dominated by special teams guys. And once again, I don't think you necessarily needed Rizzi specifically to sign off on it. I think Nick Saban is somebody who, is saying that he's the best special teams player he ever coached. I think that's more than enough for me to be like, oh, dang, he's probably pretty good at the special teams thing. And, what catches my eye is when coaches say stuff about the players, because players saying stuff about other players, it doesn't mean a whole lot to me. It really doesn't. We see the NFL top 100 list every year. It's bad every single year. But when you get coaches who are more involved with like the personnel side of things and guys who actually get paid to do stuff like that, when he says something about, Q Robinson. And by the way, Nick Saban has coached, I don't know, hundreds of 5-stars throughout his career. And the fact that Q Robinson was literally the best, better than all of them at, being an overall special teams mind, that says a lot. So, yeah, you knew that with the investment we made into special teams and, how it was hilariously on clutch at the worst times last year, thinking about the Forsyth miscue against Kansas City, thinking about the inexcusable play at the end of the first half against the Chargers that gave him a free kick, and then you think about the bad punts in overtime against the Bengals, like, we're making sure that doesn't happen again because our special teams let us down in a huge way. And I always felt like Q Robinson was making his presence felt on the field at Alabama. And it's never, ever a bad idea to take a project guy, considering how well the staff has done with development of players, especially of his archetype. Bonitto, I'm not going to compare him to Bonitto because I think Bonitto was just better coming out of Oklahoma. But, similar guys. So, yeah. And here's my reservation. So listen, I don't like the pick at all, and I hope that Q Robinson. I'm very happy you're in the orange and blue. Mile high salute. I hope you absolutely kill it here. I didn't really get the idea behind this pick. Going 5 deep at edge or getting that tweener outside linebacker thing, it just doesn't sit well with me. Unless Benito's deal falls through, in which the case you probably should have traded him during this draft if it was falling through, then I just have no reason to believe that this is just a viable solution to go 5 deep at edge, because I'm more than comfortable with Ellis and more than comfortable with Tillman if Bonitto or Cooper have to sit out a player or two. But I also don't trust this coaching staff to best utilize a tweener or a hybrid style of edge or inside linebacker, because while we've seen a lot of skill development from all of our guys, especially coached by our amazing defensive staff, when you get these tweeners like DeMarcus Walker, when you get these tweeners like Drew Sanders, it just gets really, really weird, and it just stunts their development, switching their positions over and over again. And I get a little scared that that's something that might happen with the Broncos as well. And this is just the pick that really made me question the draft philosophy by not going running back or tight end here. I would have much preferred Mitchell Evans. I would have preferred a handful of other dudes that got taken over this guy, but I mean, it was a round 4 pick, so it is what it is. But yes, go out there and prove me wrong, Q Robinson. I really hope he's amazing because I see a lot of potential with this guy. So if he realizes it, he will be an amazing member of the Orange and Blue. So yeah, that basically does it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, salute.